Yo, good morning, y'all. So, I just wanted to do a quick short video on just kind of a reintroduction to where I'm at now, as far as like my barbecue journey has gone compared to when I started. When I started the actual channel, I've been doing this like live fire cooking for a long time, but when I started the YouTube channel, I was kind of like gearing things towards like what kind of content could I make that are going to make people want to watch, right? So I looked around and I found this smoker that like had some reviews, but wasn't like really taking off yet, and it started to go. So I bought one of those Masterbuilt Gravity Series smokers, and it was pretty good. It did okay just for like home cooking and stuff like that. But I really started evolving into wanting to do more live fire cooking again, like with an offset. I had a different like smoker at my old house that was built in, and it was like all stucco and concrete with the bricks, and it was pretty cool. But like obviously couldn't move it when we moved over here. So I bought that Masterbuilt. I actually bought the Masterbuilt after I had a Camp Chef pellet grill that freaking caught on fire one night and just burned up. So probably the best thing that ever happened to me. So I went from the pellets to the offset, or the Gravity Series, to a friend of mine gave me an old school Oklahoma Joe's, like from the early 90s. And it was 3/16, but 20-inch cook chamber, 20-inch cook firebox, really small. Couldn't cook much on it. Maybe a brisket and a couple of other little things, but not a whole lot. And probably 3 years ago, right before it was about 2.5 years ago, before the Super Bowl, I was like, man, I really want to start getting into like cooking and making some money and like selling my products to people. So what can I do? So I figured what I was going to do was start cooking on that and just selling meat by the pound. And I think the first time I ever did one, I think I sold like, I don't know, 3 pounds of meat, right? So I had a bunch left over for us. So it paid for the meat and it was all good. Everything was great. So it went from doing that to, I want a bigger smoker. And I had kind of learned and dabbled in welding during the pandemic. 2020, I had a gym. They closed everything down for 4 months. We built a camper. I don't know if I never documented that, but I have a pretty cool camper we built. It's got a queen size bed in it and got a roof rack on top. So we put a rooftop tent up there, and you can take it pretty much anywhere you want. It's got 33-inch tires, pretty badass. But I learned to weld a little bit there, and then I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to do this even better. So I bought a welder, bought a Hobart 210, and I bought a Prime Cut 50 plasma cutter. Found a compressor on freaking Marketplace, and I just went after it, and I started learning how to weld. And I ended up building a smoker out of a 150-gallon tank that was about 90 to 100 gallons, where I cut it about 2/3 of the way. Used that for the firebox, and then I had the cook chamber, and I made a 4-inch stack on it. But it cooked even across the whole thing. It was really awesome. So I was pretty pumped about that. Fast forward like 8 months, I was kind of running out of space on that, so I ended up wanting to build a bigger one. So I sold that one, and I built a full-size 150-gallon. I had that 150-gallon for about a year, I think, year and a half, and then decided that as things kind of winding down at the gym that I had, didn't really want to do that anymore, and my heart wasn't into it anymore at all. So I was like pretty much done with it. I feel bad for everybody who joined like within about 6 months span of when I closed, because I was not happy doing that anymore, and people knew it, but that's life. So I decided I was going to take a big risk and get a food truck and take the food truck route, but also build smokers. So as you can see, this is my own personal 288-gallon smoker. I built this one. I don't know, maybe in January I think I built it, and this is April. So I built that in January and got it ready, cooked on it for the Super Bowl this year for the first time, and it's been awesome. So I've also built multiple smokers on trailers for, I built one for a guy in Denver who goes by the name of Gantz KC Style Barbecue. I built one for a buddy of mine who has his own restaurant now up in Carrollton, Missouri, which is Well Seasoned Barbecue. And I just finished another 330, excuse me, on a trailer for a friend of mine who has Point and Flat Barbecue, which is a food truck here in town that's always over on the Kansas side. So been doing that. I got a few in the queue right now, and I'm trying to do that. So the main thing I'm focusing on right now is my food truck, getting scheduled, getting as many places as I can, getting out there as much as I can, and then also building smokers. So I've got right now in my garage, I've got a 250 I'm finishing up and I'm doing a raffle on. You can find out the details on that on my Instagram account, which is just Kansas City Smoked. And then I'm also doing I've got another a 150 for a guy that lives up north. So I got those two projects going right now. But that's kind of where I'm at. So I kind of evolved away from just trying to make content because I want people to watch it and try to make money on my YouTube channel, which is hilarious too, by the way, because my channel just got monetized. But I'm not really, this isn't my main focus, isn't trying to make money through YouTube, but I'd like to be able to do videos on smoker building, Pitmaster, any questions anybody's got about being a Pitmaster, wanting to get into the food truck game. And then also on top of that, I literally had just bought, 2 days ago, I just bought a plasma table from Eastwood. So my plasma table will be here Monday. My next video I was gonna do a video on this cook I'm doing today. I got 6 briskets on, 4 pork shoulders, 3 slabs of ribs on the top, and I've also got 3 pork bellies that are all cut up. So I'm smoking all that for these 3 events I've got back to back to back coming up on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But I'm gonna start, my first video after this is gonna be a video on that table, because I'm gonna do an unboxing on it, and then I'm gonna do a video on setup on it, and then it's like going back to school. So I gotta like go and learn how to freaking use Fusion 360, how to properly set my table and get all the settings right. So that's gonna open up a whole new revenue stream and avenue of business as far as like what I can do with that. These things like this, like on the smokers, like my buddy Marcus, who has Mark Customs Garage, he does a lot of custom Toyota parts and different things for his business that he's got, and he did this for me, and he did one for a couple other buddies too. So I want to be able to do all that stuff myself, obviously, so that's something I'm going to do and focus on going into the year as well. So the 3 main focuses are going to be building smokers, getting food truck out there as much as possible, and then also learning the nuances of how to utilize that plasma table the best I can. So that'll be here Monday, and looking forward to getting started on that. If you guys like the videos like this where it's just kind of like me talking and it's just raw, I don't have a fucking badass camera set up, I don't have a microphone. I can do that if it's something that interests most people, but if it doesn't, I'm not really going to be too worried about it. This is just my style, more of like just bullshit and talking when I'm doing this stuff. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. I'm not against it, I just haven't invested in it, so it's not something I'm really focused on right now. So anyway, that's kind of where I've gone from when I started the video. Like I have a video that's got like 30,000 views called World's Best Brisket Video. I would if I had that smoker, I would use that technique, but I haven't utilized that cooking style in I don't know how long. So it's pretty cool that it's out there and people that have a Gravity Series smoker can actually use it, but it's not something I do anymore. So I've just evolved, and I've got into obviously something completely different. So anyway, y'all got any questions? I got answers. Hopefully, I don't know everything, but I know a lot. I've learned a lot, so I'd like to pass on the knowledge to anybody who's interested in it and would like to know more about how to utilize smokers like this. Anybody who would want a smoker like this. Right now, my capacity, the biggest smoker I can build is a 330 on a trailer. I don't have a gantry crane. I'm doing this in my garage. I don't have a thing heavy enough to pick up a freaking 500-gallon smoker. Like, they're insanely heavy. So this smoker here, I could barely even move by myself. I had to get a breaker bar out and stick it underneath of it and wedge it, and just to move it like 3 inches at a time because it's so heavy. This is an old school tank. I think it was built in 1955 as far as the plate goes, and it's like stamped on it. I've never seen one that was stamped on it. And this whole tank's 5/16 steel. So the 5/16 over quarter, it's insane how much heavier it is, because the last 330 that I built was a little bit longer than this, but only 3/16, and I could drag it around the garage like it wasn't hard, but it wasn't as nearly as difficult as this. This thing would not even freaking budge. So anyway, that's a different story. So gonna be doing that. A lot of focus on smoker building, plasma cutting on the table, and then also I'd like to video some stuff at my food truck and do like a day in the life type video. It's just a matter if I can get someone to come and help me out and do it, because I can't be setting up a camera and then sometimes I'm working the window and doing orders myself. And like last Sunday, I sold out in like 2.5 hours, and I was literally nonstop. I did 42 orders, which tickets, which I don't even know how many orders I did, but it was fast. It was awesome. I had a great time. So anyway, that's where I'm at. If it's something you like, tell your friends, share, like, subscribe. Trying to blow this thing up all around. I want the YouTube channel to get bigger. I want the food truck to, I'm booked out like all the way through October right now, which is pretty cool, but I've got some little gaps here and there I'm trying to fill in. And then I just want to build smokers. So that's what I like to do, and that's who I am. So if it's something you like, cheers, follow, appreciate y'all.